Hey everybody, Walter here. I'm on the set of Top 5 and I'm recording the Top 5 Best Marvel Movies, which you can check out on Channel Awesome's YouTube page this coming Tuesday, and then come back over here to the personal channel to check out the Countdown Continued, my new show where I count down the honorable mentions that I talked about on Top 5. Now, I'm here right now to review the new Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok. I just saw it last night, and this is getting a ton of positive praise. I think it's the highest reviewed superhero movie of the year, above things like Logan and Wonder Woman and the Lego Batman movie and everything. This is above all of those. So that's pretty high expectations to live up to if you're going into it seeing all this positive praise. But I mean, every reaction that I've seen to it on Twitter, Facebook, you know, word of mouth from friends and everything, people love this movie. So I was really excited to check it out. Tried to not keep my expectations super high, but I was going in expecting to like it. I mean, it's a Marvel Studios movie, but at the same time, it's a Thor movie. I like the Thor movies okay, but they're more the weaker ones of the MCU. I mean, I think a lot of us can agree to that. So I saw it and I really enjoyed it. I really liked the humor in it, which is a big thing that everybody really likes in it. The way that it doesn't take itself so seriously. It's a very loose movie. The director said that they improvised 80% of the dialogue in there, which I don't know about that. You would have to really go through a lot of reconstruction and editing, and even you know, setting up different shots if you know, for setups and payoffs if this is all improv. So I don't know if I believe it's 80% improvised, but you can definitely tell there's a very loose feel to the dialogue and everything in it, and that works in its favor, absolutely. This is not like the first two Thor movies at all. The first two Thor movies were, like I said, I thought they were okay, but they took themselves, for the most part, very seriously, with little bits of, you know, sprinkling comedy throughout, and most of that didn't involve Thor. We got a few good jokes from Thor in the first two movies, but they're mostly on, you know, like Natalie Portman and Kat Dennings and Dr. Selvig and everything. So this one was, a lot of the comedy was driven by Thor, was driven by Hulk, which we've seen in the advertisements. Loki was really funny in this. Jeff Goldblum is fantastic. Tessa Thompson had a couple funny lines and everything. There's a character called Vorg, I think, or Korg, who's like this big rock monster that Thor finds on the planet where he fights the Hulk, which is in the trailers and everything. And he is hilarious. He's voiced by the director, and he might be the funniest part of the movie. He's just this very soft-spoken, kind of like dim-witted character, but is great. I really enjoyed that character. So besides the comedy, which it is really funny, the jokes are great. All the jokes, for the most part, work. The visual gags are fantastic. Everything, as a comedy, Thor Ragnarok works very well. In terms of the story and everything, I thought this was very clever. The way that the Hela, the female character in this, which is played by Cate Blanchett, I thought who also did a fantastic job. She's a very serious villain. There's not really any comedy bits with her, but when she's on screen, you take her seriously, you take the plot seriously and everything. And when Thor and Loki and everyone else interact with her, it's, you know, it's a serious moment and everything. So I really liked her in it. She's very powerful. Obviously, her character is very powerful, but her screen presence, you just kind of feel intimidated by her when you see her on screen, which is great. So, you know, this is, a lot of people are calling this like a throwback kind of 80s style movie, and I could definitely see some of those. I mean, like the bright colors and everything, and a lot of aspects of this movie kind of remind you of aspects from, you know, 80s movies, 80s, you know, sci-fi comedies, if there were such a thing back then. There were, of course. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. Do I think it's as good as people are saying? Not quite. You know, if I were to give this out of 10, a score out of 10, I'd probably give it about an 8. Definitely by far the best Thor movie, absolutely. Is it one of my favorite Marvel films? No, I don't think so. But it is something fresh and different for Thor, which is definitely what Thor needed. And I really enjoyed the take on it. And a lot of big things happen in this movie. A lot of kind of game-changing things happen. So this isn't just kind of a throwaway movie. Some big things happen throughout the story that set up things later that are impactful, that aren't just going to disappear, hopefully anyway. I don't think they are, because some big things happen here where it kind of changes the status quo for Thor and Loki and everyone in it. So yeah, I think that from what the reactions that I've seen, people who absolutely love it, did I love it? I don't know if I loved it. I thought it was really funny. I thought it worked really well, but I don't know if I really loved it. A lot of people were comparing this to Guardians of the Galaxy, the first and second one, and they're saying it's funnier, it's wittier, it has more heart. I don't think so at all. I think while it's funny and does have some really good heartfelt scenes in it, I think Guardians of the Galaxy, especially the first one, has a ton more emotion to connect with characters that we're meeting for the first time, and I think that it's just a more powerful movie emotionally. And I thought the jokes in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, I think were funnier. I laughed more in that than I did in Thor Ragnarok. It's weird because in the movie theater that I saw Thor Ragnarok in, it was about half full, and I felt like I was the only one laughing sometimes. I saw it with kind of a dead crowd, which kind of dampened the fun of this a little bit. I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if I saw it with maybe a full theater with, you know, people who were totally into the jokes and everything. And this didn't, the theater that I was in, the people weren't, at least as outwardly reacting to the comedy as I did. I laughed at most of the jokes, so I was trying not to be obnoxious, of course, but I mean, there's some really funny stuff in this movie. So is this going to be on the top 5 best Marvel movies list? Even if I love this, even if I thought maybe this is number 1, I don't think I could, in good conscience, put it on there. Maybe I'd make it an honorable mention, but I've realized as I've been doing these countdowns for a long time now, and even before I worked at Channel Awesome, I was doing different countdowns, is that, what I've realized is that opinions change. My opinions change on things the more I see them. If I see a movie once and I love it, and I go back and see it again, a second, third, fourth time, is it as good? Does it hold up? And that really, especially for the Marvel movies, the best Marvel movies, that really had a lot of impact on my choices that I made in this top 5 that you'll see. I only saw Thor Ragnarok once. That's all I had time to do as I was watching all the other Marvel movies, and even if I loved it, I don't think I could put it in there. And is it in the honorable mentions? No, it's not in the honorable mentions. I think that it's just below that. It kind of group it in with things like Doctor Strange, which I really liked. Even like this, Avengers Age of Ultron, I know a lot of people weren't into, but I enjoyed that enough. I haven't seen that movie too many times either, so I kind of rank it, and with the first Captain America movie too, it's kind of in that same realm of just below honorable mentions for me. So, don't look for those to be in the new top 5 coming out on Tuesday. It's a little bit of a spoiler, I guess. You guys are on the inside track here, but in terms of just as itself as a movie, it's not too connected to the MCU. I mean, we get the Hulk stuff in there that connects everything, and there's other things that happen in there that allude to the bigger things that are happening in the MCU, but it's very much a standalone story, and it's just a Thor story. He's really funny in it. Chris Hemsworth is fantastic, and just is a great sense of timing. I saw this in the Ghostbusters movie from last year, which I didn't really like all that much, but I thought he was really funny in it. Just his sense of timing and the way he worked off the other cast members. You could tell he's a really good improv actor, and you could tell he used a lot of it in this as well. So overall, really like Thor Ragnarok. Absolutely would suggest it. It's a ton of fun. Jeff Goldblum again is a standout. He's just being Jeff Goldblum, and he's this weird alien guy running the the fight arena, that whole world, and he's hilarious. And Tessa Thompson also from Creed. Love Tessa Thompson in Creed because I love Creed, and I'm so happy that the actors and creators from that movie are going off to do great things in the MCU. I mean, Ryan Coogler is directing Black Panther, which looks so good. Michael B. Jordan was already kind of a big actor before Creed, and he's been doing stuff since then, but he's the main bad guy in Black Panther, and he looks awesome. And I'm so glad to see Tessa Thompson do so well in this. She played Valkyrie and was a very good, serious character, but she had funny moments too. So we really saw a lot of her range, and she had a lot more to do in this than she did in Creed. So really happy that she's doing so well. I'm looking forward to see what she comes out with next because I'm a big fan. So yes, Thor Ragnarok, about an 8 out of 10. Not really one of my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, but it is one that I really enjoy and definitely enjoy watching again. The more I think about it, I might enjoy it more the more times I see it, but you know, you never know until you watch a movie more than once. So I'll definitely be checking it out when it comes out on Blu-ray. Might buy it. It's a lot of fun. It's a good way to spend a couple hours. I think you guys will like it. So that's my review of Thor Ragnarok. Go ahead and check it out in theaters if you haven't already. Make sure you come back here on Tuesday for the Countdown Continued, the new show like I was talking about, based off of Top 5. So Top 5 Best Marvel Movies are going up on Channel Awesome on Tuesday, and right after that, come back here for the Countdown Continued, and I'll go into the honorable mentions. Check out more of the videos on the channel and subscribe if you haven't. See ya.